Hi everyone, it's Dee from Turtle Dove. Today I thought I would show you how I've been making these little paper flowers. I bought 5 packets of pre-cut paper flowers. So they came like this. I've been getting some inspiration to make some flowers by all you gals on YouTube. I watched Susan Tootsie Tucker. She made a video not that long ago. She made beautiful flowers using the big sequins, and she would heat them up with a heat gun and they would curl up, and then she would just stick them all together. So I've been watching quite a few videos and getting some inspiration, so thank you for that, ladies. And if you haven't, go and watch Susan Tootsie Tucker's channel. She's a lovely lady, and she just makes me smile all the time, as a lot of you do. So excuse my voice, I'm getting over a terrible chest cold. So anyway, let's get started. I'll just show you the ones that I've made, and then I'll just quickly show you through how I did a couple of those. I might just zoom in. I'm zooming the wrong way. There we go. So this is the orange and yellows, and what I did with this one, that's the flat ones, I sprayed it with this yellow iridescent spray by Kaiser Craft, and it just gives that beautiful sheen, pearlescent sheen on there. But you can't be too heavy-handed because it almost turns white in some places. So I'm finding that using this spray is really good on the very dark, rich colours, if you use it in the same shade, obviously. So that's that. And then I just swapped the petals around, and on some flowers I put the light colour at the top and the dark at the bottom. And you'll notice on some of them the leaves are curled upways to the centre, and so on this one I left them quite flat and tried to curl them the opposite way. And I just placed some flat backed faux pearls in the centre for those. Oh my goodness, excuse me, this cold is just hanging on and on. I've had it for almost 2 weeks now. Oh, and if you notice my hands are blue, I just had my mum and sister and aunt over for coffee, and my sister talked me into using this colour spray. It's a spray in hair chalk. I've wanted to put that on my hair, just on the ends, for a long time. So she did it for me, and I'm not ever using it again because the overspray went everywhere. I literally had to wipe down the floor and the ensuite cabinet tops, and I just kept getting all this blue, and then I blew my nose and all this blue gunk come out, so I breathed a lot of the vapour in, which isn't good. So goodness knows what it's doing to my lungs. I'm trying to get over a cold, but anyway, that's going in the bin. I'm not using any more of that. It looks really, really good, but I don't know what it does to your health. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that because my hands are literally blue and it doesn't want to come off. So I'm not sick, other than a bit of a cold. Okay, we're getting off track. So now the blue, again, some of them are flat and others are the petals are sort of upways. And with this I just put some glitter around the centre, and then some of these beautiful little flat back rhinestones. And I didn't spray this. I think it was the orange is the only one I sprayed with iridescent. I had to, like what you do is spray it, and then the next day I'll do it in the evening, and the next next day it'll be dry, ready to work. So being paper, they do get pretty wet pretty quickly. So I thought they're really pretty too. And on some of the flowers have some darker edging there, and that looks nice too. So that's the blue, and then the purple. Again, chop the colours around. Some of them are light on the top, some are dark, and then just used a sheet of the flat back rhinestones for the centres. The red ones, I've made all these fairly flat with the petals curling towards the back. So I'm going to make a red one for you, and I might try and lift that one up ways. I think the reason why I went back ways is because the centre is so big, so I wouldn't be able to curl it up like I do the other one. So yeah, I think that maybe I won't be able to do that, but they ended up looking really nice, I think. And I used, these are the Fireworks Red rhinestone stickers. So just see what you have in your supplies and just use up whatever you have. And the brown ones turned out really nice. I like them. This is the first one I made, and I used too much glitter for the centre. So the next time I sort of tried to spread it out ways as well, which it didn't work to start with because my glue bottle the nozzle's too big. So what I did is transferred some glue into this little tiny bottle with a tiny nozzle on it, and that's how I did the blue. You can see it's a lot finer. So, and I noticed too on this one I used way too much glitter on the edge of the petals. I think it looks a lot more nicer if you use a bit less. So sometimes less is best. Okay, so zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll just make a couple. I can put that this side. Okay, put that out of the way for now. So let's make the brown. To get the glitter out, there we go. So get the glue ready and all your supplies. So I'm using this foam brush so that I can place the petals on there. Now what should we do? I'll do this. So I'll do the base first. So now to curl the paper, use this like a soft sponge of some sort or a soft rubber. Just place it over, and now where are my tools? You can use something like this, which is actually a nail art tool, but the ball on the end is way too small, and that's just going to rip the paper. I think you can get some clay tools for working clay, same sort of thing but a lot bigger. I just found the end of this pen worked good for me. Not too sharp at the end, it's sort of rounded off. So all you do is just be careful when you first start doing this. The paper can rip quite easily, but you just sort of will bring this upways. You just get the centre near the base of the petal and just work it in a circular motion, and then up and down depending on how much of a curl up you want to go. And you do that and see how it curls up while you do that. And then if you want it to curl up even more, you can do the same thing to the centre, but because this is going to be the base, I'm going to leave that, and I tend to work up. As I work up each layer, I might curl it up more. So this one I'll do a little bit more, and then the very top layer, I'll try and curl that up quite tightly, as tight as I can. So that's done a little bit more. Now this last one, I'm going to do each petal, and I'm pressing a little bit harder. Again, you just got to be careful with this paper. You don't want to be tearing it. And I think if I had the proper tool with a proper steel ball, which is big enough, it would probably work even better. So see how all the leaves have turned up ways? Now I'm going to give the centre a little bit of a roll. See how much that's curled up? It will, because I'm going to put glue on the centre, it will sort of come down a bit. So keep that in mind too. Then it's just a matter of putting it all together. So I'll just get a bit of glue at each layer. And I love these things. I bought them on eBay. I think I got about 3 or 4 bottles. I bought it a while ago now. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't much. It was probably under $10. So now I'm just going to put that much in the centre, and then it's just a matter of getting your glitter, which I might put over here. Actually, I might pop it on the, oh sorry, just knocked you. I might actually pop it on here, and then I can just pour it straight back in. So it's as easy as that. I have ordered a flower die for my die cutting machine, so that I can actually make my own paper petals and do what I like with it. So there we go. And I also forgot that I'm doing the edge of the petals. So that's where this fine, just pop that over there so I don't spill it. That's where this fine little bottle, tiny little bottle comes in handy with the fine nozzle. So I'll try and put a little bit less glue on the edge here. I think that looks just much better than just putting a whole heap in. I think I was a little bit heavy-handed to start with. I got overexcited. Oh, wow. Now that's a lot of glitter. There we go. I think I might just dab that in there like that. I think that's what I did when I was making the others, just because I was making a few. I just put it in a little container and then just dabbed it around that way. So there we go. Doesn't that look cute? So that I'm going to pop over here to dry. And don't want to waste too much if I can help it. There we go. So the next one, we'll do the orange. So you can see that beautiful sheen, that iridescent sheen. See how it looks much better on the dark? I mean, it still looks nice on this colour, but it sort of washes out a bit more. It's not so noticeable. So let's do the, what centre should we do? Do the dark centre. I like the dark. And then put the light in the middle and the medium at the back. So again, just pop the lid on this so it doesn't dry out. Right. Get your foam base. Now this one I'm going to curl up again. So I'm just going to do a little bit on the base, not too much. And then the middle, a little bit more. Oops, using the wrong end. And then that is a pretty orange with that iridescent over it. And I have this quilling tool. I did quilling years ago. In fact, I want to do a video in the future soon, just show or talking about all of my craft endeavours over the years, from when I first started crafting years and years ago. And I sort of got into a little bit of quilling with paper, and this was just one of the tools that I used for it. But I found that it comes in handy if you want to sort of roll that over, and you can bend the petals that way too. You can bend them in more. Okay. Let's just glue this. Oh. And I found using the iridescent spray, the glue doesn't adhere as well, so that's something to keep in mind too. One of these orange ones popped off the next day. It wasn't stuck on, so I had to re-glue it. And once it's dry, you can fiddle around with the petals and bend them again, you know, depending on what you want. So this glue will dry clear, so I've just popped a fair bit in the centre. There's my turtle dove, I like to have in shop. These are some flat backed tools that I bought on eBay some time ago. And just centre these how you like and let them dry. So that's that one. Now I'll do the red, so I can see I won't be able to curl that one up because the rhinestone stick is way too big. So we'll make that flat too, and I'll do that. So basically I'm concentrating right at the tips of the petals. Just rubbing that right at the tips. And then you just pop it the opposite way. So now it's going inwards. Do the same with this one. And now I'm going to turn that around, obviously. Just carefully rub the ends of the petals on this one, and then I'm just going to use that other little tool here. I mean, you could use anything. You could use that, like a pencil or even a knitting needle, whatever you want. I'm going to fold this sort of around. That sort of gives it a bit more of a tight curl. Like so. And then it can go on the top. So let's put that together. A little bit of glue. Put a bit more on this one actually, because it's bending the opposite way. I want it to stick. And like I said, once it's dry you can have another play around with the leaves if they've sort of straightened up a little bit. Let's give it a good squeeze just in the centre. So that is how I made these flowers. So, thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, I'm wanting to make a nice video for you on just all my little craft endeavours over the years. By memory, I started knitting when I was a teenager, so I'll probably start with that. Don't do much knitting now, but that's another story for another day. Okay guys, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.